In today's video.
Yeah, I actually did something to you while you were asleep too.
What?
I'm sorry, I just got this fetish that I do. You know.
Well,
I didn't hurt you. You're good, right?
Oh God! Fire Phoenix! My God! You have your boy here, knowing, seeing the camera, and
like I said, these are just young ass niggas talking shit because they want to be Cory. They want to get away with bad shit. You would be surprised how many males want to do fucked up things. It's just a part of our nature.
Dude, they tried to bring down someone who has done nothing but pour light into the world. Coryxkenshin isn't just a YouTuber. He's a man of faith, a leader in spirit, and one of the few who've never strayed away from his values, even when the spotlight got brighter. From the very beginning, he stood firmly in his beliefs, proudly putting God first, speaking truth when others said silent, even though he right now is silent, and moving with intention in a space where so many get lost. Let's see another one of these. They got this nigga holding a goddamn katana yet again. They got it spitty right now, saying, I knew Cory was a man of God. There's nothing that this man could do to make you do this. I's a man who's confirmed. I went to Catholic school. I was an altar boy in an Anglican church. So before anyone claims that I'm just a heathen, before I make my criticisms, I want that to be the context of this criticism. Cory performed a Christian image. That's not unique to him. I mean, Illuminati, who I also loathe. Let me know if I need to do a Negrospective on him as well. But he had that weird spiritual soul thing he be doing, where he frying his brain from the outside in. He's a sun gazer. You do geyser, looking at the goddamn sun. You expect me to think that that man have anything of value to say to me after he been looking at the sun for copious amounts of time? Y'all wild. And while I hear, I'm really tired of the persecution complex. Let's start there. Because y'all acting like Christianity ain't the most popular religion in the goddamn world. Y'all acting like y'all some damn Taoists or Zoroastrians or something like that. Getting back to Cory, this doesn't negate his faith, but him doing it on camera and ending every video with a Bible verse is by design. It adds this wholesome sheen to his image. His branding is his barrier during times of controversies such as these. People who buy into this man of God persona will find it difficult to believe a godly man can do evil. It's the way that Jerry Falwell Jr. could be the leader of Liberty University, and he could be a godly man in one breath and a sexual predator in the next. And the sad part is, this belief that Christians are infallible is anti-Christian in itself. Jesus was hanging out with whores. Oh God. Jesus was hanging out with the downtrodden, with the dregs of society. Some of the best Christians lead conflicted and nuanced lives. But this puritanical brand of Christianity has co-opted the faith and made believers of it perform a purity and piety that is antithetical to the Christian faith. And the samurais subscribe to that facade of Cory, the one that could do no wrong, which will bring us to his wrongs. Panda Ninja uploaded a series of notes where she details the abuse she endured while dating Cory. And I want to preface this by stating that there's no clout to gain, money to earn, and fame to find in being a victim, especially for women who are abused. We have seen countless times with high-profile cases like Diddy. Not likening Diddy to Cory, but rarely is there justice for survivors confronting their abusers. If anything, there's more pain, more isolation, and that is by design. Because the system isn't broken, it's operating exactly as it should. It's humming. And the system is there to protect abusers. Because those abusers, whether you like it or not, are your uncles, your dads, your cousins, your brothers. Whether you like to believe it, you know abusers. You love abusers. You may not even know that they are. And you, I hope, will never have to deal with the dissonance of finding out someone that you love is an abuser, and God forbid, in that moment, your reflective urge is to deny those victims of their reality. So with that said, I want to read Panda Ninja's testimony. I didn't want to do this, but I don't owe you my silence anymore. There's no clean way to start. Just that familiar weight in my chest while the world kept applauding someone who never showed up for me. I was never part of your world publicly. You made sure I stayed close, just far enough to be invisible. Your followers eat up the whole, quote, man of faith image you push. But faith without basic decency isn't faith. It's branding. You talk about devotion, but act like hurting people in private doesn't count. That's not devotion, that's hypocrisy. You fooled a lot of people, but not me. When I met you, I was at one of the lowest points in my life. I was still healing, still trying to remember how to love myself after going so long without it. I had all this love and nowhere to put it. And for a moment, your attention made me feel seen. Like maybe I wasn't invisible anymore. Even writing this now has me crying so hard, I can barely breathe. The pain still lives inside me like it just happened yesterday. I'm not writing this because I still care. I'm writing this because I've carried too much silence. Anytime I tried to speak up, you twisted it into something wrong with me. While I sat alone, replaying every word, breaking myself apart just to make sense out of it, they were out here calling you a positive role model. You ghosted me, not because you were confused, but to teach me a lesson. You made me feel like I had to shrink to earn a reply. Every move was calculated, even if I couldn't see it back then. This was your punishment: silence, distance. Disappearing like affection was something I had to earn. Like loving you too loudly, like I needed to be put in my place. You never showed up when it mattered. You only came around when it was convenient, when you wanted something, when it was easy. But when I needed care, support, the bare minimum, you vanished. They'll never know how many nights I cried quietly into my pillow, trying to convince myself it wasn't that bad, just so I wouldn't have to admit how deeply it broke me. And then came the subtle jabs. You once asked if I wanted to know how much you made. I said no, because I didn't care. I've never depended upon anyone. I've worked hard my whole life and made my own money. You made sure your absence cut deeper than your presence ever comforted. And the worst part, that kind of damage takes effort. So congratulations. You treated my body, my heart, my time like they were things you could shelve and retrieve whenever it suited you. Like I only existed when you needed to feel wanted. But still, you made me feel small for the job I had. Like I was a disappointment just for not living up to your standards. I never asked you for money, your platform, your help, any of it. I didn't want what you had. I just wanted to be treated like like I mattered, like a human being. But even that felt like too much for you. It probably bothered you that I wasn't impressed, that I didn't melt for your image, your ego, your self-importance, that I saw right through you and still gave you the chance to be real. The card said, quote, Naomi, the way I feel about you is real. You are so wonderful, so gentle, and kind, not to mention sexy. Ahem, winky face. I miss you, and I hope this puts a big old smile on that pretty face. And then came your one grand gesture. Flowers, candy, a teddy bear, and a card. The first thing you ever bothered to give me. The last thing that felt remotely real. But that version of you, the one who actually cared, never existed. It felt like maybe, finally, something was different. For a split second, I let it crack my armor. I let myself believe you. When you called that night and poured out a heart-to-heart, said, I've made a lot of mistakes, but you were never one of them, I cried. Because even after everything, I still wanted to believe you were capable of being good to me. And then the next day, someone told me they saw you in California with another girl. I already knew where you were going. You told me that part, but you snapped at me. You said it was your sister, got defensive. I wasn't accusing you of anything. I just wanted the truth. But your reaction said everything, even if it was really your sister. All I did was ask calmly, the way anyone seeing someone would. I'm not the type to pry or get jealous over anything, but when the details don't add up, I pay attention. But you never said who you were with, so I assumed you were with family. That's how it always was with you. I never really knew what you were doing, just whatever pieces you decided to share. The guilt always slipped out before you could cover it. You always gave yourself away, and then you ghosted. Do you know what that kind of pattern does to someone? It rewires your nervous system. It teaches you not to trust softness, not to believe kindness. It makes you think that if something feels good, it's probably a setup. That was the real you, not the sweet, funny persona you flashed on camera. Just a selfish, image-obsessed coward who cares more about looking good than being good. You couldn't even stay in the same room as your own consequences because accountability doesn't get likes, right? And still, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. Every time, I let your excuses rewrite the truth, just so it would hurt a little less. I held your chaos like it was love, because that's all you ever offered. You know how badly I wanted to be loved, so you breadcrumbed just enough affection to keep me hoping, then called me crazy for wanting more. I spent so long asking what was wrong with me, wondering how I could show up with my whole heart and still not be enough, trying to be softer, quieter, easier to love. But the truth is, I was never asking for too much. I just kept pouring into someone who never planned to give anything back. I kept handing you chances, kept trying to make sense of the hurt, kept believing maybe there was something good in you worth holding on. That part's on me. But everything after that, that's all you. This was just the beginning. Part 2 comes late tonight. I want to hold space for the survivor here because she is aware of Cory's fan base and she knows the fallout that comes from confronting Cory in this manner. This is her last-ditch effort for resolution. There's only more harm for her in doing this. So why would you do it? Keep in mind, Cory is one of the largest creators ever, and she is saying that he abused her. For the folks that are claiming that it's a bad boyfriend at that, do you know what it is to see your abuser regularly? Not just in passing, like in real life, like you all work together, but lionized as a celebrity and a man of God. That's psychological terrorism. But that being said, in this admission so far, the harm done here is emotional and psychological. The worst is yet to come. Part 2, where it gets worse. And then came the Xbox messages. It wasn't even what you said. It was how casually you said it. Like nothing you had done had ever left a scar. Like you hadn't already shattered me once and just got bored. Now I want y'all to take a quick second and note that this is what an Xbox Live chat looks like. This is Cory's account. Panda says, okay, so what's up? Cory says, you still seeing someone? Panda says, why do you ask? Cory says, because I'm trying to fuck your life up some more. Panda says, what? Cory says, that was just a joke. I was just asking. Panda then says, never heard you curse before. That's why it threw me off. Like it was funny, like it was cute. As if the pain you caused the first time wasn't real. The confusion, the trauma, the aftermath. All just a joke now that you were bored again. My chest locked up. I wasn't even surprised. Just furious you'd still had the audacity to crawl back in like you were welcome. Like I'd let you ruin me again for your own entertainment. You didn't come back to make things right. You came back because with me made you feel powerful. Because you knew I used to let you in. Because you counted on the damage you did to keep me soft. Because you thought I'd be too broken to bite back. Cory says, because I wanted you. Panda says, wanted me how? Cory says, like how I've always wanted you. Panda says, like in a relationship type of way or something else. Cory says, like something else. Panda says, that's kind of messed up. It wasn't a toy. Cory says, I know that. I wasn't just about to message you after a year and ask you to be my girlfriend. Do you hear yourself? You knew I'd survived SA. You knew how hard it was to feel safe in my own body. I want y'all to take a second and really remember the fact that he knew that she is a victim and a survivor of SA. Keep that in mind. You knew how hard it was to feel safe in my own body. And you used that as leverage, just to remind me how far you'd gotten. Threw it in my face like I should be flattered. Cory says, I'm glad. I'm the same. I don't fuck with anyone. Double bummer. Panda says, the difference between you and I, though, is that I don't do it with just anyone because I was abused. I'm not saying that for you to feel bad or whatever, but for you to understand. Cory says, I know you told me that. That's an acknowledgement of the fact that Cory knows that she told him. Cory says, I know you told me that. So Cory is admitting that he knows that she told him that she was a victim of SA. Cory says, I didn't know I got lumped into that category with the person that did that. Panda says, because I was being used for that. I guess that time when you told me how you felt was not real too. Panda then says, but I guess I was just a good... Cory says, when you said relationship, I thought you meant I was just gonna ask you out. Panda says, nah. Cory says, I mean you were, but that's not all you were. Anyway, doesn't matter, you're with someone. Panda says, that's how it felt at the time. Even if I wasn't, I wouldn't have let you again. And when I did that with you is something I just don't do with anyone. Cory says, you wouldn't have let me again? LOL. Panda says, no, I wouldn't. You didn't want me. You wanted access. The version of me who froze when things felt wrong, who kept forgiving you because I thought love was supposed to hurt. When I pushed back, you got defensive. I don't know why I'm lumped into that category. F you, you put yourself there. You crossed lines you had no right to, and you knew exactly what you were doing. Then you tried to backpedal, like everything could be undone if you called it a mistake. But it wasn't a mistake.
Hey! I'm your ad! Look at me!
It was you, being you. I didn't have my shit together, but I still showed up. With heart, with honesty, with care. I never used my chaos as an excuse to mind someone else. Then you had nerve to say, I loved you back then. I didn't really have my shit together. Really, you had the money, the platform, the fans, the house, the car, everything. You had every tool to be a decent human being, and you still chose to be careless with someone you claim to love. I find that people equate monetary success with virtue. Money just makes you the person that you are with resources. Some people say that it amplifies the person that you are. At a particular point, I do believe money corrupts. People make the misconception, like they talk about Elon Musk. Okay, he's rich, so he must be a genius. No, they couldn't be that bad of a person. Look at all this stuff. If he was a bad person, he would be in jail. It's not the way that it works. In fact, it's the opposite. Your ability to perform financial adeptitude does not mean that you're a better person, especially at a particular point. At some point, you've exploited someone. When you get to a level of wealth, you had to have exploited someone else's labor. Corey says, backpedal. You were never used for sex. I need to make sure you understand that. I loved you. Like I said, didn't have my shit together. Panda says, you loved me. How is that possible? But I guess empathy doesn't hit the same when the mirror's not pointed at you. Because if someone can say, I loved you after they've already destroyed you, what does love even mean? And if anyone else is reading this, I want you to ask yourself something. How would you feel? Would you keep making excuses for him? Would you still tell yourself it wasn't that bad? Because I did. I did for a long time. I held in everything while they held him up. What makes it worse is how many people still praise you. How many don't know who you really are? How many built their platforms just by orbiting yours? And while all of that was happening, something else started happening to me. You're isolated, terrified, too stunned to tell more than a handful of people because you barely believe it yourself. You walk out knowing your life just shattered, yet somehow you still have to keep walking. You're staring at the doctor's mouth, but the sound's already gone. No tears, just shock. Like your soul stepped out of your body and left you alone to hold the news. Heart slamming against your ribs, tunnel vision, thoughts collapsing under words like chemo, mastectomy, radiation. And outside, the pandemic makes sure no one's there to catch you. What would you do? If the nurse called your name and the moment you sat down, the world stopped making sense. And I quote, TNBC, stage 3A aggressive. And what did you say? So I reached out to you. I didn't reach out because I was weak. I did it because if my time was up, I wasn't taking your unfinished damage with me. I reached out to people not for comfort, but for closure. Because when you've survived trauma like mine and you're forced to face the possibility that your story could end early, you do what feels right for your soul, whether anyone else understands it or not. Corey says, that was the most passive-aggressive cancer reveal ever. LOL. That wasn't just cold, it was cruel. It hit harder than the diagnosis itself. If that kind of cruelty comes easily, were they ever human at all? I lived. And when I came out the other side, I wasn't alone. I was held by people who loved me with no agenda. That's what healing looks like. That's what love actually is. And you said it anyway. So what was your excuse? No questions. No compassion. Just a joke. You knew my story. You knew I'd already been through hell. You watched your own mother go through it. You saw what it did to your own family. You felt what that word means. The fear, the fight, the way it rips everything apart. That was the moment I realized who you are. That was the moment. Because anyone who can witness your pain and feel absolutely nothing was never someone with a soul to begin with. Heartless. Even after I cut the cord, I couldn't breathe. Because you weren't just a person I had left behind. You were a name the internet wouldn't let me forget. You were still everyone's favorite post, and no one knew what it cost me. Your fans kept showing up in my DMs acting like they had insight, but they didn't know a damn thing. And of course, there was N. She found me through your Xbox friends list, checked my profile, saw my IG in the bio, and followed me. And I didn't know that yet. Just another gamer sliding in. Nothing strange at first. Then one day, she posted you in her IG stories. And something in me paused. Part 3 coming up. I want you all to stick a pin in the fact that she knows that he knows that she is a survivor of SA. And she expressed that she has a cancer diagnosis of which he flippantly brushed off, saying that's the most passive-aggressive cancer reveal I've ever had. Part 3. They were watching Me Too. So I asked, "Oh, you're a fan of Cory?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm not." She followed up with, "Why?" It came off like a curious question, like maybe she knew more than she was letting on. But I wasn't about to assume. So I kept it short. We dated. It didn't work out. I didn't realize how she even found me until later. After that post and our conversation, something fell off. So I did some digging and saw she was following you on Xbox. That's when it clicked. She must have found me through Xbox. I don't know how many others she did that with. At the time, she hadn't done anything weird. She seemed nice. Just another follower showing support. We had light conversations, nothing alarming. She liked some posts, messages here and there. And when you're a creator, that kind of thing happens all the time. So I didn't overthink it. But the vibe was off. Like she was watching more than connecting. I didn't have proof, just a gut feeling. And I should have listened to it. They didn't have my full story, but they knew enough to see that you weren't good to me. And somehow, N knew too, before she ever even interacted with me. That's when things started to click. They listened. They removed the part about me. That's when they clarified they weren't trying to come for me. They were trying to warn me. And they were calling N out. Then the anonymous IG account showed up. They started calling out directly. At first, the way they worded it made it sound like I was a part of the problem too. But that wasn't the case. I messaged them directly to clear it up. Because this wasn't new behavior. And had done this before. Turns out, she had a reputation in your space. Though I didn't know that then. I was still assuming someone, especially you, might step in and shut the chaos down. The account eventually explained their full intent. They wanted the truth out. About you, mostly, but also about N. For the cruel, manipulative shit she was doing in your community. Inserting herself into the lives of women you were once connected to, digging, meddling, then twisting things. N messaged you directly. Tried to paint her own version of the story, one where I was the problem. And you were aware of what was happening, but you never asked what was going on. Never checked in, never even questioned why your name was suddenly tangled in the quiet drama. No apology, no courage, just surveillance. And although I hate drama, and this was never something I wanted to be a part of, especially when I was minding my own damn business, it started to feel like a sign, a push I didn't ask for, but maybe needed. You just watched it unfold like it had nothing to do with you. And not long after that, one of your close friends, Brandon, someone who had never acknowledged me, suddenly started watching my IG stories like clockwork. Like he was assigned. Like you were waiting to see if I'd finally speak. And looking back, I'm grateful. Because of that, I met the others. The women you heard. One by one, I got introduced to more of them. Women with stories. Women with messages they never sent. Women who saw the same patterns. The same affection when it benefited you. The same withdrawal when emotions got real. Blame always shifted onto the other person. For the first time in a long time, the weight I had been dragging alone didn't feel so heavy anymore. We weren't alone, and we weren't broken. Just convinced we were. Jesus Christ, this... Bro, you know what it is to hurt so many people that they have like a Cory anonymous for you? They stayed quiet, just like I did. Because they didn't think their voice would matter. Because it's easier to carry the pain than to explain it. But pain doesn't need permission to be real. Maybe I was meant to be the one to speak. Until they're ready to. Some people told me to stay quiet, thinking it would protect me. But that kind of protection still hurt. Because it made me feel like the world wasn't ready to hear the truth. And maybe it still isn't. Maybe they'll still side with you. But I'd rather be hated for telling the truth than stay silent to protect your comfort or their denial. Why speak now, as if timing ever made truth more comfortable? Because I was tired of living like your name held more weight than my voice. Tired of wondering if speaking would get me heard or destroyed. Afraid that the second I said your name, people would stop seeing me and start labeling me. And the world would care more about protecting your reputation than hearing what you did. While everything I am, everything I built, risk being overshadowed by you. They are not alone, because everyone deserves that moment. The one where it's safe to exhale, to feel seen, to be heard, to remember they're real. This is my story to tell, and theirs to protect, until they're ready. This was never about revenge. This is about accountability. You wore kindness in public and cruelty in private, and silence helped you get away with both. I'm done swallowing my story so you can keep your fake reputation intact. Why didn't I leave? Because I was human. Because I wanted to believe he wasn't as cold as he acted. Because part of me thought love meant fighting through the worst. People love to ask, why didn't you just leave? Like they've never clung to the wrong person out of hope. Like they've never swallowed up their own voice just to keep peace. But they've never asked, why did he make it so hard? Why did he keep coming back just enough to confuse me? Why did he never let me go, but never fully choose me either? He hurt people. He manipulated, discarded, and walked away clean every time. I'm not the first, and I won't be the last, unless someone finally says something. I didn't speak up for years, not because I had nothing to say, but because I knew how the world treats women who speak against men with status. I knew I'd be labeled as bitter, jealous, unstable. I knew his fans would tear me down before they ever tried to understand me. Because I knew people would stop seeing me and only see who I was connected to. I want to take a second to notice the fact that she wrote this before they did exactly that. She predicted exactly the way that the response would happen. Doing it here in real time exactly, Anna. Look at just like the chat in general. The amount of people that had to be banned. And behind all of that, life was heavy. I was dragging pain nobody could see. Trying to survive shit I couldn't even name. Let's get one thing straight. I didn't write this for you to believe me. I'm not here to ruin him. I'm not asking you to pick sides. I'm asking you to sit with the truth, even if it makes you sick. I didn't stay because I was weak. I stayed because I wanted to believe it would get better. Because I forgot what I was worth. Because I didn't know how much damage had been done. Because when you're constantly made to feel like you're the issue, you start believing pain is what you deserve. But I'm not that girl anymore. Even soft girls snap when they've had enough. And I had enough. You don't know me. You don't know him either. You know the version he shows you, the one you want to believe. You weren't there. I was. So if you want to excuse him, go ahead. But own what you're defending because you're now a part of it. You're not defending a good man. You're defending a mask. You can side with him, just don't act surprised when more stories surface. You've been warned. He didn't just hurt me. He hurt many. You don't have to wait for the proof. The red flag's are already there. If you love yourself, leave now. Before you lose pieces of your mind, your heart, and your identity. Trying to decode a man who was never meant to be held. Because no version of yourself, not the strongest, most beautiful, or most forgiving, can fix a man who is addicted to power over your soul. Find someone who doesn't destroy the people who love him. Because he doesn't just hurt people. He mentally chips away at them. He makes you question your worth, your memory, your tone, your reactions. That's not just bad communication. It's emotional and mental abuse. Now ask yourself this. Would he stay if things got real, messy, vulnerable, human? Would he show up when there's nothing in it for him? Would he make you feel safe or just make sure he feels comfortable? Would he be there if your life fell apart tomorrow? To the girls still watching with hearts in your eyes, thinking you'd be the exception because you're different, prettier, more understanding, more his type, you won't be. He doesn't need a better woman. He needs to become a better man. And he won't. You could be stunning, soft, loyal, everything he claims he wants. and still, it won't stop what's coming. To those who looked up to him, I know your experience may have been different. Some of you found comfort in his content, maybe even hope when you needed it the most. And I won't take that from you. But the truth I've shared here is mine. It may be hard to read. It was even harder to live and write about. If this changes how you see him, I'm sorry for what that takes from you. But I couldn't keep swallowing my pain just to protect the version of him that the world wanted to believe in. I know not everyone will be ready to hear this. Some will deny it, some will defend him, some will twist it into something it's not. Because facing the truth is harder than holding on to the version they were shown. People will say what they want. They always do. I didn't write this for them. I wrote it because I was there and they weren't. And that's the only difference that matters. No extra words, no permission, no apology. Just truth. That is just a whit, a fraction, infinitesimally more difficult than probably what she had to go through. And what seems like many people have had to go through. Panda Ninja detailed a harrowing account of her relationship with Coryxkenshin, and she notes something that I'm going to return to, which is not unique to Cory's community, but I see it a lot online, and I've been a victim of it too, which is the dissonance between who Cory performs and who Cory is. The relationship that the samurais have with Cory is not with Cory the person, but Cory the avatar. And I want y'all to stick a pin in that. First, we have to address this video. After Panda uploaded what I refer to as the Panda Papers, she uploaded this video. The caption reads, "You didn't know this was one of the videos you would look back on and realize he never cared. He just wanted to see how long you let him hurt you."
I woke up again and it was all.
Did you watch me sleep? Did you watch me sleep?
Yeah, I actually did something to you while you were asleep too.
What?
She asked if you watched me sleep. Cory said, "I did watch you sleep, and I also did something else to you." Joking to your partner about doing something to her while she slept. A partner that has expressed to you that she is a survivor of SA, and you're saying this on camera, knowing fully well that you're recorded. It's your job to be recorded. Is unequivocally and unambiguously one of the worst career moves I could think of. Oh God. Niggas in the chat that don't wipe their ass, can you agree on that? Can we agree that this probably isn't the best look, whether you did it or not? To say to her on camera isn't a really good idea. If that's what you could say on camera, I don't know what you could say in private. And remember what we said earlier. He is aware and he has admitted to her telling him that she is a victim of SA.
I'm still on.
Then I woke up again and it was all.
Did you watch me sleep? Did you watch me sleep?
Yeah, I actually did something to you while you were asleep too.
What?
I'm sorry, I just got this fetish that I do, you know. I didn't hurt you. You're good, right?
Oh God. Fire Firats. My God. You have your boy here knowing, seeing the camera, and specifically talking about he did something to her in her sleep, and the first thing he could come to is, "I didn't hurt you." What? From what angle could you look at this as okay?
What did you do, Cory?
Just don't worry about it.
Cory?
Good.
Cory, what did you do?
Do nothing. Look, this camera out of my face. I didn't do anything.
From this video, there's nothing that you could say to tell me that the emotional abuse isn't real. There's no context, no angle, no nothing that can be added to this to make this look any different from what it is. Emotional and psychological terrorism, and your desire to wait for more elucidation by anyone. You waiting for Cory to come and clear this up, or you putting the survivor on trial? That is simply sycophants for an abuser and upholding a society where women are abused and don't come out about it. If you out there saying, "I waiting for the Messiah, Cory, to come back and clear all of this up and everything's gonna be fine," what can you say to excuse him telling his partner, who has already expressed to him that she has been a victim of SA and a survivor of SA? What can be said to mollify that, to make this clip any different than what it is? At best, he didn't do anything in her sleep, and he's just a dickhead for psychologically and emotionally abusing her, making her feel like though she did. At worst, he actually did do something to her in her sleep. Which reality are you comfortable in living with, oh samurai? And folks is claiming that they're laughing about him saying he did something to his partner in sleep. A partner who has expressed to him that she is a survivor of SA. The claims that the laughter nullifies the abuse and makes this a joke. The only thing y'all saying that tells me is that y'all self-reporting and y'all have absolutely no literacy for abuse at best, or at worst, y'all are knowingly laundering abuse by writing it off as a joke. Truth is, online, this niggas be playing horror games and praying in front of the camera, and offline, he's be going MIA, abusing gal them, and frolicking in Japan with the ooh people them. Oh God. The narrative quickly spread that the Panda Papers claimed that Cory essayed her. And I see there are some folks inside the chat who are saying the allegations are fake, he never essayed her. We read all of the Panda Papers, right? We read what this woman said. Did this woman say that he essayed her? But somehow, that is what was spread like wildfire by Monday morning. And the essay narrative obfuscated the Panda Papers entirely, leading to Panda feeling compelled to clarify what she didn't even need to clarify in the first place. This is Panda's official page. She says, for clarification, he did not essay me. He didn't need to say that, because you never said that to begin with. However, she felt compelled to say that. After looking more into the Coryxkenshin case, I've come to a conclusion that most of y'all niggas can't read. Oh God. You have people in here talking about, nah, for real, that girl knew what she was doing. She knew. See, I'm having a stroke trying to read this. You have people trying to defame the gal mere moments after coming forward with a whole Panda Papers detailing the way of which she's been emotionally and psychologically abused by a nigga who literally laughed at her saying that she has a cancer diagnosis. She literally had to come out and basically say, hey, he didn't do that. He did not essay me. But at this point, they saw the clarification that she's making right here as a retraction. And then a dog pile ensued. You had a Twitter thread where Panda retracted everything. However, we later find out that the Twitter thread that was apparently a smoking gun was not even real. The samurais faked a Twitter thread. You had niggas inside the chat right now, like a couple minutes ago, literally saying that the smoking gun was, well, she retracted it. Everything is fine. Everything is, you know, she didn't do it. I know my goat would never do this. The reason why they think that is because samurais themselves, Cory's fan base themselves, took it upon themselves to deep fake a survivor and retract the statement that she actually made, and until they upvoted it into oblivion to obfuscate the actual Panda Papers themselves. Logging out now because y'all are blowing up my phone. I'm sorry for this little troll. It is badly humored. I'm just bored, and I hate to see Cory under bad light without him getting even a chance to try and give us his side of the story. Have a good day and pray for our goat. The Twitter account was fake. It was made by the samurais themselves. They created a fake account to muddy the waters further with doubt and build upon our reptilian instincts to not believe women in general. They didn't even stop there. They did more than just that. These niggas faked a Discord. Oh God. Remember I noted that when we were looking at the conversation between Cory and Panda, that it was on Xbox. Look at how many upvotes this has. And they said, literally made yesterday, I didn't even think to check. Claiming that she made a Discord. Claiming that the victim, the survivor, made a Discord just to defame Cory, and that they discovered it. If you recall, the convo between Panda and Cory wasn't on Discord. To be abundantly clear, it was on Xbox Live. All of this just to debunk a survivor. It was later verified.
Account with 30K followers, 87 friends, 2 following. This is it. Chat, this is it. I don't have the messages. Check his friends. All right, I'll check it again, even though I just did. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Never mind. Okay, so this is all his friends. This is his old account from back in the day. This is it. This is his old account. Look. This is his account. Look. This is back in the day. Look.
Later, folks were able to verify the Xbox account to add veracity to the Panda Papers, but it was already too late. The samurais then announced this man the winner of the allegations. Like there's a damn UFC fight or something. By the time that they did this, it was already too late because in the court of parasociality, Corey already won. And they were doing victory laps. Here's the samurais celebrating about faking a fraud panda papers.
Yeah, you stupid bitch. See, that's why clout chasing. Like, oh my God. Like, if the nigga didn't essay you, what's the point of posting in the first place?
The Bleach soundtrack deserves better than this. 19.7 thousand likes calling a woman that detailed the abuse that has been done to her in light of her cancer diagnosis. And this man celebrating a win over her and calling her out of her name.
Yeah, you stupid. See, that's why clout chasing. Like, oh my God. Like, if the nigga didn't essay you, what's the point of?
People don't take psychological and emotional terrorism seriously. Dog think he doing his big one, saying that if it wasn't essay, what's the point? As if essay is the only form of abuse that you can dole out to anyone else. When I would venture, that is one thing to take your body, is another thing to take your soul. Psychological and emotional terrorism at a particular threshold can drive you to take your own body. Y'all don't sleep on invisible abuse. Don't sleep on that. In your own lives, don't for a second think that just because a nigga don't touch you, mean that he ain't actually harming you. That goes for the man them too, because we endure a lot of psychological and emotional abuse a lot of the time. A lot of niggas inside the chat right now suffering silent battles. Suffering silent battles that ain't even inflicted upon one person, but society itself. Psychological and emotional abuse can drive you to hurt yourself until your actual physical abuse has been manifested. And then the person don't even need to get their hands dirty because they ain't physically touch you. So him saying that if it is an essay, then why even post it? It's a self-report.
Posting in the first place. Then you go talk about some goddamn, oh, I'm not looking for attention. I'm just finally voicing what's been on my mind. If you don't get over that, and I could tell that old too, because this is when Corey had up teeth.
Bro, so much is going on here. For one, there's no moratorium on abuse. The things that you are listing as reasons as to why she should be discredited are actually only discrediting yourself. She knew this was gonna happen. She predicted this shit. She saw this shit coming like that. So Raven, and you are in fact adducing to the point when you ask, what is the point? This. If you don't like. Sorry, I forgot. Secondly, this boy said he knows all because this is when Corey still had messed up teeth. The fact that you know that, oh God, you've been watching this man too long and too hard. That's like if a nigga came to me in the chat, say, foreign, I see that you hanging to the right side today instead of the left. Fire feet out. Are you pecker checking like that? Meat monitoring spirits, blood.
You're sad about a toxic relationship. If you don't get over that, you're a grown ass woman. Get over that. You got a job.
You don't. You don't. My lord. There ain't no way, bro. Corey ain't gonna let you hit. This ain't even just the man them. It's the gal them too. Caption saying to Panda official, cause why couldn't that have been texted? Being a loser is gender neutral. You're at your cooking job, I would assume, making a TikTok in defense of a man who abused a woman. A man you do not know and does not know you. And you in here swinging in your apron, multiple of them, declaring that this war is won because they bullied a woman that came out about her abuse into submission and into private in her account. And then claiming that that in itself is a victory. You need to charge your phone. You'll have to find these clips, edit them together, find one song to put it to, just to celebrate you bullying a survivor of assault and abuse into private in her account. They saying, let's go. He's innocent. Someone literally saying he emotionally abused her. This boy right here could say, cause their relationship had dark humor in it, but Corey would take some a little bit far, same as his ex. emotionally, not physically. We are so hooked. Bro, it was so bad that it pressured Panda to drop a follow-up to her papers after she saw people coming to celebrate that she retracted her statements when really she just clarified something that she didn't even need to clarify because she never said in the first place.
I just really want to make this clear that, and this is very important, I'm saying this literally with all my heart. This was never about defaming Cory at all. It literally was me venting about something that happened to me in the past that did hurt me. I felt at that moment that I wanted to share with people that may have similar experiences like I did. And that's basically it. So basically what I'm going to show you now is everything pertaining to the situation. As proof, this was literally not intended to attack or have attacks towards Cory.
People don't believe in visible abuse. They need marks. But the thing is, we already know that that's a goalpost that y'all are very committed to pushing back, because we've seen, even when they have marks, even when the abuser drags the person on the floor and there's surveillance footage of it, even when the person has batters and bruises all over the place, y'all still celebrate them. They are still celebrated. They are still protected. Chris Brown just performed and just got accolades at the Grammys, even though his abuse is memorialized. Diddy will essentially get out in far less of a time than he is owed. Cassie and them are trying to clamor about and figure out how they will protect themselves because the person that they risk their lives and careers to adduce evidence to their abuse is out. You have people who would rather see Megan Thee Stallion, I don't know, clamor in pain because she's a black woman that is vocal about her own sexuality. They would want to see her clamor in pain. They will put on capes to defend a nigga who they cannot name 5 songs by. Tory has nothing in his discography to warrant the amount of meat riding and keeping that they have for him. Y'all don't love Cory? Sorry. Freudian slip. They don't love Tory as much as they hate not just Megan, but black women. Tory being in jail is representative of justice for black women. That's all that is. And niggas can't take that. They're not defending the niggas, you know. They are defending the niggas' right to do wrong because they see themselves in these niggas doing wrong. So when a nigga is held accountable for it, they see that as them potentially losing avenues to do abuse. That is what you're seeing when people reflexively defend masculine abusers and denigrate victims of assault and abuse. That's what it is. They're defending the status quo. They're defending their potential ability to abuse.
As proof, this was literally not intended to attack or have attacks towards Cory. So please stop the essay allegations towards him. That is not true, and that's not what I said. There was no cheating or pregnancy. There was no editing of messages. Those were literally rumors that they made you guys believe because they were trying to bring traction to their content. Oh, other creators or whoever was trying to say something or do something. I literally said, and I'm emphasizing this because people keep thinking that this is what I wanted and this is not what I wanted, but I literally was not looking for follows or attention or any clout. I literally just posted it just from my experience and to heal from my experience. I just want to address the fake messages that have been going around, or tweets or whatever it is that people are editing. They're fake. If it's anything outside my TikTok, they're fake. People are obviously taking that so they could bring traction to their channel. I gave what I had to clear up the false allegations against Cory, and that content creators made up is not fair to him or me.
I want you to realize that she's also running interference for Cory himself. Cory's not even defending himself, but she is. She is noting the fact that what the samurais and the fans and the creators that are vulturing this topic is saying and doing on his behalf is actually making it worse for Cory, for her, for everyone involved. This nigga ain't even speaking on the topic because he's yet again potentially going the route of many successful creators who have probably had counsel of anybody who has done this for quite a bit of time. And that counsel is ignore the allegations. Mr. Beast did it. David Dobrik did it. Cody Ko did it. Corey doing the same thing. And it looks very plausible because Corey is go MIA anyway. And it works. As someone noted, system, the institution, the voracious appetite of a drama cycle and a drama machine is going to turn over in a week. Because this happened on Monday. And you had a whole bunch of slop channels making videos, essentially doing exactly what the people that we saw, the yamheads that we saw before, reporting on false allegations made fraudulently to defame and discredit the survivor themselves. And the persons that did it so that they can get whatever clout or whatever proximity to not even Corey, but probably Corey's audience. Because they don't see that audience as a deal breaker. They see them as an opportunity, a business opportunity. It's a symbiotic system of which people feed off of others' misery, misfortune, the slop channels that are reporting on it. And I know you all know who exactly it is. They are feeding on the carcass of the Panda Papers.
If it's not dropped on my TikTok, please, 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 it's not legit. Anything on Twitter pertaining to the situation at all is not legit. I have no friends involved in this. People who claim to be friends, unless said by me, are just looking for attention.
So Panda did a screen recording to essentially show that the images that she provided inside her TikToks were not doctored because it's very difficult, of course, to doctor a screen recording like this. To recap, the internet has awful media literacy. So people misinterpret it either by mistake or on purpose, or the abuse that Panda outlined in her Panda Papers to mean sexual. So when the internet ran with sexual abuse, she then later came up to clarify, even though she didn't need to because she never said it, that Corey didn't essay her. Yet again, she never said it to begin with. However, because clarification in a cancellation discourse is used and interpreted as a retraction, which is why samurais began celebrating their goat-beaten allegations like it's a goddamn football game and not abuse. And their celebrations teamed up with malefactors running interference by creating fake screenshots and people that are inconsequential to the abuse coming forward simply to debunk her, like the gal that say that she's her roommate from however long ago. All of these things in concert began to become more popular than the abuse itself. The reporting and the subterfuge and the memes and the jokes ended up eclipsing the actual Panda Papers of what she actually went through. An attempt to outline her abuse in the face of mortality because she found out that she had a cancer diagnosis, and in an attempt to outline her abuse and potentially let other people know that might very well idolize and deify Corey, they ended up making memes and discourse out of her. The T-Channels began making videos about how Corey beat the allegations in under 24 hours when it's simply this misinterpretation of abuse being cleared up by the survivor when she never said anything about SA to begin with. So you have the samurais branding this as a woman trying to tear a black man down, which reveals an uncomfortable truth that some people really don't want to admit. But it ain't so much as y'all have a problem with racism being used to dismantle black figures with fame, and that if he was a white man, then it wouldn't have gone down like this. They don't really care about the racism, nor the health of the black community, because if you did, you would be as eager to address the abuse as you are to defend it. That ain't the problem. The problem is a lot of these samurais and a lot of the folks in general, because it ain't just the samurais, a lot of y'all see what white men get away with and y'all want to get away with it too. Y'all see people trying to hold Corey accountable for abuse as the inability for you to abuse. This bigger than Corey, because the root problem is the way that we engage with parasociality. It's bigger than this. The stands need to stop. Samurais, y'all ain't no different than the Bobs, the Bayhive. It's not even about the figures that y'all lionize. It ain't even about Corey. It's about the fixation for fixation's sake. The obsession with obsessing. Y'all are building identities based on avatars. Not even the real people, but avatars of them. Y'all make their opinion yours, so you don't have to think of them for yourself. So no wonder that you're going to attack mode when your fave gets allegations, because it's no longer about your faves being accused of something. It's the accuser attacking you, the fan, and your character, because you have built it upon a nigga on the internet that can hide between jump cuts and the 18 hours in a day when the camera ain't on. You don't know these niggas. Oh God. And if you actually cared about them, you wouldn't zealously advocate for them, because y'all are horrible lawyers. Y'all end up making things worse for the injured parties as well. It's also worth noting that when these OG YouTubers are being criticized, their fan bases associate a lot of their childhood nostalgia with these figures. So not only do they find it difficult to conceptualize that their fave could do no wrong because of the facade their fave performed in these manufactured videos, but nostalgia is deceptive, because memory is fallible. You probably can remember Corey better than the image he even presented, because you fill in the gaps of your memory with everything else you're nostalgic for in the past. Corey wasn't even as good as you think Corey was. You ain't only nostalgic for Corey, you nostalgic for the big back TVs, you nostalgic for a reality where your ma loved your pa, you nostalgic for a reality where you could afford to go to the goddamn movie theater for $5 instead of $20. You miss your youth, and Corey was a part of that. Y'all amalgamating all of your memories of your childhood, of the times when you were blissfully ignorant of this, and you're mourning the death of your infancy. But Corey was not a Corey that you remember. You're filling in the gaps. Corey is a person. We are people, and we are fallible. And if you deify us, you dehumanize us, especially black folk, because we already need to work twice as hard for half as much. Niggas need to be granted the flexibility to because when we mess up once, it's a confirmation to the already preconceived lizard brain bigotry that has been established from time immemorial. Don't deify Corey, don't deify me, don't deify none of these niggas, none of your faves. Because when we frig up, and we will, we deserve the humanity that grants us grace to learn and to grow from it.
Alright. Yeah, I gotta lock the fuck in. So after hearing all of that, one thing in particular in my mind caught my interest when he was talking. My ears were really wide open, literally, to what he was talking about. This is why I subscribe to this channel, guys. It's because he has a logical empathy mindset of understanding how other people feel. That's what I fuck with. This is why you should subscribe to Foreign Fridays, because he has a very intelligent view of life, a professional view. So, one thing that I really heard him talk about was how Christianity is being used as nothing more than technically a grift. So, basically, the samurais, yes, I'm going to call him that because he called him that. The samurais disavow any fucked up shit he does because he's a man of faith, a man of God. See, now that's how scary the internet is. You'll disavow anything he does because he's a man of God. So I have a phrase that many people probably don't like. There is a lot more bad men in Christianity that hide behind Jesus Christ's skirt and literally act like they want to be a redeemable people, but in reality, Jesus Christ is nothing more than an excuse to commit heinous acts. Every single time. It's never been, I don't care how many people say this, it's never been the trans community or the LGBTQ community. Yeah, I'm one of those people calling it out. And if it is, it's rare. You always see a pastor doing something to a kid. But where's everyone's motivation to get that guy? Where's any motivation to talk about that? Oh, he was just a bad man. He's just one of the bad people in Christianity. We have good pastors in the world. Not really. There's a lot of them that seem to like the youth more than their own age. That's irrelevant. This woman, I'm not gonna lie, she did it quite well. This panda, Panda Ninja, I think that's her name? Yes, Panda Ninja. Damn, I must have said that wrong, but it doesn't matter. She did this quite well. There's no manipulation, there's no fuckery, there's no trying to do this and that. However, I will call this out. You are trying to destroy his career. So let's be real on that. You can't disavow that because you did try to disavow and say, I'm not trying to destroy this man's career. I just want people to be aware. You can't do that. When you start talking about abuse, essaying, or making jokes on essaying, let's be real. She didn't say he did essay her. She said he made jokes on essaying and took advantage in being disrespectful on essaying. That's really it. And, you know, I had to side with her on this one. Because as someone who knows someone who went through that shit, I don't fuck around with that. So, my terminology with the word nice guy gamer is what implies here. Now, Corey is a nice guy gamer that I will now say, at one point, I put him at a plateau higher than usual. Not because of his Christian faith, but because he was entertaining. However, ladies and gentlemen, there's always been, well, a protocol in my mind where if a creator does something effed up, I'm not hesitating to abandon ship. I'm going to be very fake as fuck on the internet when it comes down to being a fan. Oh, well, you weren't a fan in the first place. You goddamn right I wasn't. How about that, motherfucker? Yes, sir, I was not a fan in the first fucking place. How about that? Because I don't play around on the internet. You guys are not personal people. I don't know you. I just know the character that I'm perceiving in front of me. Other than that, like Foreign Friday said, that's about it. I'm not going to be stupid enough to think just because you're a man of God and you're a good person, you like to say all these positive things, that just disavows everything you did? No, she had a screen recording of all these DMs, all the messages on Xbox. There's no excuse. The guy acts like that in his personal life. Those are DMs, private shit that she exposed. And that's okay. But one thing Forum Fridays, I don't think he completely understands is that these guys are really young. See, I was young too. But however, my love for Cory does not blind me to the fact that he did something fucked up. I don't care how much of a famous person you are, whatever you consider yourself, if your avatar is doing this shit and acting like a man of God, I'm disavowing it instantly. I don't care about your Christianity or your faith in Christianity. I care about your kindness. Because there are too many boys, yeah, I'm not going to say men, boys who utilize Christianity as a utility tool to commit heinous acts. And one thing he did point out, that certain people or certain men who get away with very evil and damn near, when I say very evil, just completely borderline the devilish level that I would like to say this. Let me really clearly say this with actual authenticity. They think that if they could be famous, they can get away with anything because they will have a fandom backing them. So there are boys out here who literally want to be Coryxkenshin or anyone like Coryxkenshin. Fuck that. Not Coryxkenshin. More likely, any dude that gets away with inappropriate shit that you shouldn't be doing, which is more of a nice guy gamer thing to do, is to disavow things. Because again, as I know nice guy gamers better than themselves, most nice guy gamers love to make the excuse for essaying. The samurais are the prime example of what I'm talking about. So these guys will think it's okay that if a woman takes it, right? Yeah, I'm going to say that. If a woman takes it, she liked it. That's their logic also. Now they'll lie and say, I don't like that. I don't think of that in any sort of way possible. But the truth is, you kind of do. Because your first thought was to say that she said essaying, that he did essay her. No, he didn't. She said that he made a joke on it, disrespected her on it, and he even acknowledged that he knew about it. Cory knew about this. And it's looking more than just bad, it's looking disastrous. I didn't know this was the avatar in front of me. But the person is a typical nice guy gamer, but on a more maliciously intelligent level. See, I think I can kind of forgive you, Cory. However, my brain, when it comes down to shit, because there was another personal incident that I felt a certain way about, my criticism is always going to be actively on against you at this point. Because I can tell when I'm reading these messages, that's how a nice guy gamer would talk. They would try to manipulate you, chip you down to the most external point of your body, your mind, your soul, and try to make you feel like shit. More likely, they'll try to make you look stupid. And Cory did exactly like that. Now, I understand that many of you guys are fans of him. I'm a fan too. However, when I'm on the internet, I'm fake as fuck. I'm just going to be real with you. Like, I'm not going to lie. Why would I lie? What's the point of lying and saying that I won't be fake? I will be fake on the internet. In my personal life, I will talk to people with authenticity. You Anyone else that's a personified figure, I'm being fake as fuck. Smoke and mirrors mode activated. I'm not playing with you. And you know, at that point when I noticed him making that one joke about essay or essaying, I did something to you. You won't know, blah, 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 something like that. I don't play that. Your boy Neusxanity knows some things about that, and someone had dealt with it before. I'm not the type of man to play games with that. If you basically said something like that, I would never respect you. I don't care how many people come after me, you know, mass dislike my videos, talk shit, say you're a nobody, you're a VTuber, you haven't shown your face, blah, blah, blah. Shut your bitch ass up. How about that? So, anyone that supports even remotely dark humor, don't talk to me, okay? Dark humor with a purpose, however, okay. But it's gotta be with a purpose. It can't just be random spewing intentional shock factor bullshit. There's a time and place for dark humor, but after a while, when you get older, kind of be more intelligent and advanced with it. I don't know how to explain that, but a lot of gamers in the community are going to be really stupid as shit. Same for the samurais. So it's kind of like I like to call it mud brain. So you can't see anything else outside of the internet, and you have this weird parasocial relationship. So your brain is only thinking about being chronically online. So I would tell you guys as much. Like, these DMs are not fake. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. And then she screen recorded. We just saw that. So we're going to skip over this, because there's a lot to go through. She had a whole list. I locked the fuck in and listened to everything that was done. This is why I'm telling you, bro. Gamers are very socially awkward people. I don't care what you say. Not all gamers are socially awkward people. This is coming from a gamer himself. We are very socially awkward. And then we wonder why people don't fuck with us. When I was younger, and I wanted to ask a very curious question to someone who wasn't a gamer, that person took me seriously for a moment, because it seemed like it was a reasonable question. The person told me that many of us don't know social cues. So I don't fuck with you people, and I don't like people like you. Don't you understand that? I'm like, I know social cues. I know when to not say. He interrupts me and goes, okay. So you believe you know social cues, but one of your friends literally was making fun of someone who got SA. So, but let's just say the person, I don't want to speak on it too much. There was a bad case in my school when I was younger. And well, it didn't really go viral. It didn't really get known. It was just around the town, and that was about it. It's only a rumor. But to me, it wasn't, because the person I heard about, I knew. Fortunately, she didn't get justice for it. However, gamers don't understand social cues. I said before, many of us will literally laugh at anything that makes us happy. Yeah, so I'm going to get to that part. Humor blinds us more than anything. Entertainment blinds us more than anything. Us gamers will literally disregard all the fucked up shit you did from years ago because the person changed and he's a man of God. So you know how fucked up that is, right? That's like how the logic of the 2010s were, or below that, where, you know, it took years to find out about Dan Schneider. His name, Dan Schneider, the Nickelodeon dude, how he was doing inappropriate shit. Everyone disavowed it years ago. See, that's the thing. People love to disavow anything that entertains them. I can't do that. Once you do it, I know what you are. See, I could be your biggest hater or someone who would be your biggest fan. However, if I find out you do something that's inappropriate and you clearly have no common sense of what to say and what not to say, you know, I don't really respect you after a while. That point, it's just some fake shit. I'm just gonna be in the comments, be like, "Ooh, yo, good job, Corey. Another banger ass video," but deep down my consciousness, I don't fuck with you like that. Because you don't do that. Like, this woman had all the evidence going. It was definitely a case to destroy his career. It's over. As far as I'm concerned, he knows that he's not going to reply to anything. But one thing that Forum Fridays did say again, his fans are ruining it for him. So he's right about that. I mean, you know, the fans are actually helping self-sabotage his career, right? They're so stupid that they don't even realize, and these are like young ass bum niggas that literally sit on TikTok doing all this shit with these dumb fucking meme edits. You know the weird meme edits with the Bleach soundtrack, and they have the dog face thing, whatever, the dog closes their eyes, like just praying for, I don't know. I just know that it looks like that. Whatever that is, they do that for a living. Those are young niggas doing it. So basically, these guys are literally not understanding English. Or more likely, they're not trying to listen to her. She just said that he didn't essay me. He was making a joke and disrespecting her about essay. And they didn't listen. They just took their own fucking narrative and it worked. And again, these are young ass niggas, might be 19, 18, below all that shit, who don't understand shit. They're not thinking straight. And it doesn't matter if they're not thinking straight either. It's just, they're doing this because they think that they're going to be able to save their favorite nice guy gamer from trouble. When they don't realize she's not even doing anything for it to be happening. They're just self-sabotaging their goat. So their goat is doing perfectly fine, acting like this is just a normal Sunday or Saturday, and not giving a flying fuck, while they're just destroying his image. They're doing well, they're doing it intelligently, and they're helping to destroy Corey on their own. Again, a lot of boys out here definitely want to commit some sort of like heinous act. Trust me, trust and believe. They feel justified in doing it too. I mean, shit. We have a lot of cases on rejections, and a lot of these boys go out of their way to take the lives of girls and women that don't give them what they want. These aren't just your average run-of-the-mill, and we're just gonna call them cells. This is just not the run-of-the-mill cells. These are just guys you really come across every single day that hate being rejected. Now you're a whore. Now you're all these things under the sun. All this shit. Yeah, we know what it is. You just wish that you can do something a little bit fucked up. Can we admit that? If you could do something fucked up and get away with it, it works out for you. I see what's going on, bruh. Like I said, I like being a fake motherfucker anyway on the internet. I'm not giving you honesty and authenticity. If I see something that I don't fuck with, I'm going to totally talk about it. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of 1,000 other people disliking this video on a mass level. I do not care. I don't fuck with people who make jokes on dark humor like that. I'm too old to be laughing at something that sick that I know you want to make a joke out of. It's not even that funny. What the fuck do I mean it's not even that funny? It's never been really funny. Your subconscious is only laughing because shit, let me fit in. But deep down, ill? Gross? Do you try something else? You have any better jokes to run with, or is this just your only gig? Then you wonder why there's so many boys in my generation that haven't had sex, because these females are I hate saying females, but fuck it. These females are afraid of their opposite sex doing something fucked up. And you know, we just covered King Azuli. Another motherfucker, another man that's literally thinking he has the rights to every woman's body. He believes he could just torture anyone and get away with it. Everyone wants to be King Azuli. That's basically what it is. They want to be able to get fame, and they want to do all this corrupt motherfucking evil shit and then hide behind God or Jesus Christ so they could look like good people. You see where I'm going with this? It's a grift. It's a sick ass grift on top of that. Like, then people are making fake ass accounts on her, making it even worse. So they're just proving her point without her trying to do anything. See what I'm talking about? Nice guy gamers are stupid as shit. You try to talk them out of something, they're too busy listening to their online parasocial fucking weirdo ass relationship. Instead of doing the right thing and noticing this is fucked up, what you did, Corey, come on, man. Can you give us an apology? Watch Corey not give us a real apology, but a YouTube one where, you know what, I'm going to reference. So, Low Tier God got exposed for, I don't like talking about this nigga, but fuck it. Low Tier God got exposed for, it was last year or so, about his daughter. His first, I wouldn't even call it apology, his first fuckery video about his daughter was after when people expose him on it, he's like, oh, yeah, guys, I have a daughter, and, yeah, so, I guess I'll show you her. And, you know, he started fucking with his eyes. The eyes was like, oh my God, he's gonna show it. Because they're stupid, but we already know what it is. So, he comes out, he grabs his cats. Okay, here's my daughter trying to fucking joke around and shit. So that's what Corey's probably gonna do. He's probably not gonna take it seriously. He's gonna act like this woman's just defaming him and trying to make him look bad. But I mean, these DMs already look bad as it is. That's you. That can't be anyone else. Like, bro, that can't be anyone else but you. Who else would it be? See, when you speak out against the nice guy gamer, guys, if you're a content creator out there, don't fear it. Who cares if you get 1,000 trillion dislikes and be known as the weirdo nigga obsessed with Coryxkenshin? He may be my nostalgic figure of nice guy gamers of what I wanted him to be, but now that I know the person behind the account, now that I know the person that I'm looking at technically, I only got a small glimpse of information. Not enough. But however, a small glimpse for me is enough to make a judgment call. But it's okay. Like I told you, repeat on a repeat. I will act fake as fuck because I don't care about the internet. I'm being very for real with you on honesty. I don't care about acting fake. If I had to betray you on the spot, I will do it. This is the internet. I'm not going to act authentic around you. It's just not happening. And then she had to clarify again, which she didn't have to, as Forum Friday said. Why is she clarifying? Because everyone is just saying anything that just sticks. So, I don't like mentioning this either, because this is probably going to give 3 weirdo ass clout chasers a reason to, return. So, I had a quotations conversation with a bunch of clout chasers on pedophilia. So these guys love to go into Discord calls and talk shit to pedophiles, but do absolutely nothing at all. Just, they don't double down. They have his record, by the way. They have the pedophile's record. And they like just spewing shit that works. So let's just say there's a detractor community outside of low tier god space. So outside of low tier god space, there's a bunch of outcast motherfuckers who are just out of the ring. They're done. They don't want them to be associated with the detractors. So these guys go on and argue with random people, talking about allegations and acting like they're really detectives or some shit, but they're not really doing anything. Does that make any sense? Like, they're really just talking shit, but they're not doubling down. They're not professional, predator hunters. They're just out here talking shit, and the pedophile gets to get off the internet and basically do the same thing he's probably been doing. But all right, sure. So these guys like calling people supporters of pedophiles because it sticks, works, it makes them look good. It's not because the person is a pedophile. However, the person they were talking about beforehand was an actual pedophile supporter. Not a pedophile, but a pedophile supporter. Please keep those notes in mind. So after a while, I got harassed for calling out someone who was doing some racist dumb shit. So I'll say an Uncle Ruckus, or two Uncle Ruckuses, and an artificial black person that is not really black. He's basically acting like he's black, but he's not. You know, the type of account that says, I'm a black man, and I think we need to do better, and we need to prove our human rights, some stupid shit like that. That type of account. So this guy made up a bunch of bullshit about me, called me a supporter of said pedophile, when I had there was no reason for it. I did not support the pedophile. I called you out in particularly for your racism. So because he justifies it behind, oh, well, basically, if you're acting like one, then you need to be called one. So calling me the hard R is justifiable because it's in any case that feels right. And this is coming from someone who was proclaimed to be half black. So let that sink in a little bit. Like I said about these types of people who make those types of accounts, and the Uncle Ruckuses agree with him, and an argument ensues. So once more, they went on a harassment campaign, did Mission Impossible, failed, did Mission Impossible again for the rest of July. For about 3 days straight, they got bored and they couldn't get me. So, like any nice guy gamer, like these guys who keep trying to slander her name, she didn't really say anything at all. And then she has to clarify again, he did not essay me. It's like basically they call me a pedophile supporter, but yet I didn't say anything supporting the pedophile. It was mainly about the person who was saying the bigoted shit that he was doing on purpose for shock factor. But hey, that's my example. So when people really think about it, nice guy gamers out here love creating false narratives. It is their passive talent, or RPG passive talent. Yeah, I'm going to say that. And their passive talent is loving to create narratives. So basically, if you didn't say that you support it, they'll say that you do support it. Any shape or form, they'll twist your words around, twist your brain around, try to make you sound like you support it. However, if you know the nice guy gamer game, you'll know how to flip it around, because there's a way to beat these types of guys. I did this as an example. So when someone tries to call me pedophile, I asked them what part does it say that I supported one. The person called me delusional. So again, she had to clarify, right? So basically, they're going to call her delusional, and she's trying to make shit up. She's just saying all this. She's just doing it on purpose. She's just, trying to get attention. But how could she get attention when there's nothing to get attention from? It's literally just showing who Cory is. She explained it, and that was about it. And y'all are making these narratives up, making accounts, and slandering her name. So you like lying on people? I mean, that makes sense, but I know the typical nice guy gamer games. I know what things you like to twist, what types of things you like to throw magical trick cards, pull them out of your hat, and try it on people, but gamers, once more, we're not, I hate saying this, but we're not that bright. Anything that fits our narrative, we will literally throw it at you. If I can call you a pedophile and not have any evidence, it works for me. And I can just get clout points or something like that. If I could say that Panda Ninja is lying and she said that he essayed her, yet she didn't say that, clout points for me. As long as I benefit and I can lie my ass off and get slander points, it works. You see what I mean? That's the whole point behind this. You're supposed to lie about someone who didn't say they got essayed by him. You're supposed to do it because my nice guy gamer, my goat, my man that hides behind Jesus Christ's skirt is under attack. You can't do that to him. He's a man of God, a man of faith. The nerve of you to judge him, yet he's trying to change himself, be a better person. He uses my favorite Bible quotes, my Bible verses. How dare you speak on him like that? The nerve. Jesus Christ helps everyone. Jesus loves you. Yeah, that type of shit. Now, as you can see, as time goes on, and once more, they tried so fucking hard to prove his innocence. They had no proof. They tried to make this man look like a saint. But, their efforts were destroying him. So, kind of just doesn't know what he's doing. See, the thing is with this guy's video, let's just watch it for a moment.
Never mind. Okay, so this is all his friends. This is his old account from back in the day. This is it. This is his.
If she's not there, ladies and gentlemen, it's probably because she was unadded after he found out all this shit. So maybe that's the reason why. So I'm debunking this video and exposing it as of now. That's the truth right here. He probably unadded her after she posted all of this. It had been done quickly and fast after that. Like I said, these are just young ass niggas talking shit because they want to be Cory. They want to get away with bad shit. You would be surprised how many males want to do fucked up things. It's just a part of our nature. Especially today's age, in my generation, if I can get away with something and it benefits me, I'll do it twice over is what they're thinking. Like, that's just how the average dude is. Again, she screen recorded. That's a recap on a recap. And it's just so miserably sad when someone has proof, they have everything, and you're just still rambling on trying to defend the dude when it's over. Guys, I have to say my final verdict here and now. My final sentence, that Cory is definitely guilty as charged. His silence doesn't just speak it. It's a simple fact that he's arrogant enough to just act like it's gonna pass by. See, I'm not no fool. Maybe this has been happening for years and years and she never talked about it. It could be recent. We can go along with that narrative, but kind of hard to go along with. Because these messages just look like something that's just been happening. Is just the disrespect from this man and the way how he so arrogantly just looks down upon her is, no, it tells me a story that I don't like to talk about. And it kind of hurts me to figure this out, but I feel like Coryxkenshin is definitely wrong here. It's just the way how he's taking this relationship from these DMs, not taking it seriously. He's not talking like he authentically cares. It's just, well, I mean, I'm going to try to make you look crazy by talking calmly. A lot of people, or a lot of nice guy gamers try to play that game too, where they talk calmly to look like the more sane person. It's a tactic. The more a nice guy gamer can manipulate the audience, the more he knows they will follow without any thought behind it. As you guys can see though, he couldn't really fool anyone like that. Especially me. Look, to end this off, be fake as fuck on the internet. I believe that's my personal message. I want you guys to be fake as fuck on the internet. It's a good reason and it's healthy. If you know something is wrong and you know something they're doing is wrong, don't hesitate to literally act like a complete dick towards your favorite content creator. In fact, go in the comments, act like you really support this nigga, but when it comes down to their downfall, go ahead and talk a lot of shit. Or you could talk shit now. It doesn't make any difference. Just know to be fake. If something is wrong and you know it's wrong, don't be blinded to just sit there and be like, you know, this guy, look, if Mr. Beast is really what you're saying he is, you might want to just stop and think, because Mr. Beast isn't that type of person. You don't know him. No, he's an internet avatar. You're allowed to judge him freely by his actions. If we believe that you are in the wrong, and if I don't like what you're doing, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not making a fucking suggestion. I'm not pretending like, oh, well, he's not a bad person either. I'm trying to follow the flock. I'm going to speak out against a huge amount of niggas. A huge amount of people. This guy could have 14 million people behind him and a bunch of other people start doxing me, trying to find my address, trying to find all this shit on me. I wouldn't care less. I still don't care. Look, to end this off once more, be fake. You see something wrong, you're gonna have to. Cory, I hope you do not do a shitty apology video. Respectfully apologize to this woman. You know better. The gods aren't going to save you. Hiding behind Jesus Christ's skirt is not going to save you. Being a man of faith does not save you when everyone knows that a man of faith is far worse than one without faith. Because that man will do anything to prove his innocence if it makes him look good. Cory, apologize to this woman. Take accountability Don't be a dick. Don't try and pull a fast one and say that, you know, this woman's crazy. I think she's on some bullshit. Don't do that. Don't do that, or you're gonna fuck up your own career. Smart move to do is to truly take off the mask. Let the samurais know that they're Shogun. Complete dick. When it comes down to his true feelings when things don't go his way. You don't do this. Well, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to your career after that. You might as well stay on for a cool minute of content creation over and over and over again. No breaks. And I mean no pit stops either. No mental health breaks, nothing. You're going to stay on forever, buddy. You leave, though. Oh, you look like an asshole. That's when people prove their point. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Hi, I'm Lucy Christian. I am the voice of Otako Uraraka, and you should subscribe to Neusxanity's channel. Peace out!